Why is it sometimes difficult for us to trust in God's plans? Trusting in God's plans can be one of the greatest challenges of our faith. When life does not go as we wish, and we experience pain, difficulties, or uncertainty, it is easy to doubt that God has a good plan for us. However, the Bible repeatedly reminds us that God's plans exceed our understanding and lead us toward good. In the book of Jeremiah, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. These words remind us that God always works for our good, even when we do not see it. Jesus, in Gethsemane, prayed, "Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours, be done." Luke chapter 22 verse 42. His example shows that trusting in God's plans requires humility and a willingness to submit our own will. Psychology emphasizes that the fear of the unknown is a natural human reaction. Trusting plans that we do not understand requires overcoming our fears and learning to accept that not everything is under our control. Why is it sometimes difficult for us to trust in God's plans? Firstly, we want to have control. In the book of Proverbs, it is written, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding." Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. Giving up our own control and giving it to God can be difficult, but it is necessary to trust His guidance. Secondly, we fear suffering and loss. In the letter to the Romans, Paul writes, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him." Romans chapter 8 verse 28. Even difficult experiences can lead to good, but it requires faith that God is present in every situation. Thirdly, we do not see the full picture. In the book of Isaiah, God says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8. Understanding God's plans may transcend our abilities, but that does not mean they are not good. Fourthly, trust requires patience. In the Psalms, it is written, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry." Psalm chapter 40 verse 1. Patience allows us to see how God acts in His time. Fifthly, we forget about God's faithfulness. The Psalms say, "Remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago." Psalm chapter 77 verse 12. Recalling how God has acted in the past helps us trust that His plans are good now as well. Trusting in God's plans requires faith, humility, and openness to His guidance. Jesus said, "Do not fear, only believe." Mark chapter 5 verse 36. By giving our lives into His hands, we discover that His plans lead us to peace, hope, and the fullness of life. Even when the path seems difficult, we can be sure that God will not leave us and will always guide us. If you find joy in our conversations, feel free to share them with your friends.